So how do we introduce John Abraham? Do we introduce John Abraham, the impossibly handsome uh, movie star of our times? Uh, he's also the most bankable star we have around. His Batla House has done phenomenally well. In the last couple of years, we've had Parmano and what else? Dishoom. No, I love Dishoom. Satyamev Jayate. And John and I were in college together, and I know that when he was in college, he would take the train to go home to Kerala, and this was the days before cell phones, and it would take him 2.5 days one way to reach home. I remember. So tell us your memories of going home.
First of all, Namrata, thank you so much. I'm seeing her after such a long time, so I'm excited. Murli, congratulations on your book. To be very honest, I glanced through it, and I saw some very interesting names in the book, like Agostini and Halewood, and so I was very, very excited. And I promise you, given the time, I'm definitely going to read this book. Talking about home, I graduated from trains. I used to go by train to Kerala and come back, and Namrata and I went to Jai Hind College, and then I started riding a motorcycle there. Later on, that was my first bike. There was a Yamaha RD350, and I used to get very hyper when our college students used to sit on it. So it actually made my blood boil, and I was like, oh my God. And it really didn't matter how pretty the girl was, but she wouldn't sit on my motorcycle, you know?
That's not true. That's not how I remember.
So, yeah, so it's been a journey. It's been a fun journey. And I'm here, finally, sitting between the two of you, an old friend and a biker.
I'm not a biker.
And a new friend.
New friend.
Tell us about your memories in Kerala. Most of Murli's book is set there. It's about a deity, a god, a small god from Kerala who's quite neglected and sees this motorcycle and falls in love with motorbikes. And then he takes on this road trip looking for this classic British bike. But tell us a little about your memories of Kerala.
Kerala, I've spent 1 or 2 months a year of my entire life practically, barring the last 15 or 17 years, going back home to a place called Alvai in Kerala, where my father was born. And we don't have too many people there, but I still keep going back there once in a way. It's a beautiful place. I love the Kerala breakfast. I love puttas, I love appams, and I enjoy that space. So going back there is always going back to one part of my home. So the other part of my home, of course, is Bombay, like we called it, because mom's from here. So the two sides of me, but definitely going back is a lot of fun.
I don't know your political leanings, and I don't want to go there right here, right now. But why do you think Kerala has not been Modified? What makes Kerala different from the rest of us?
But that's the beauty about Kerala, and I think it's fantastic, and Murli can vouch for this. You can see a temple, a mosque, and a church within like 10 meters of each other, peacefully coexisting without any problem whatsoever. Am I right, Murli? There's absolutely no issue there. So, seeing what's happening to the world today, and the entire world is getting very polarized. I think Kerala is an example of a place where religion and communities can coexist so peacefully. The other extreme is, I still remember when Fidel Castro passed away, I went to Kerala, and that was the only state where they had his posters and his hoardings all over to mourn his death. So Kerala is really communist and I see that in my father also. Yeah, my father was he was, I wouldn't say he made me read a lot of Marxist philosophy, and so I just went through a lot of stuff. But there is a communist side of in a lot of mallus, like we call ourselves mallus. So I think that's fantastic because we all believe in equitable living. We believe in equitable distribution of wealth, and I think Kerala is a shining example of that.
It's a beautiful answer. Tell us about the famous RD350. When we were growing up, it was like the cool guys, cool bike, and I remember how much you sweated to get it. They don't make it anymore. Do you still own one?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't own an RD350. I got mine from a Parsi for 17,500 rupees, and I sold my bike in those days for 21,000. So you can imagine how well I maintained it. And when I sold it, I still remember, without exaggeration, Murli, and Hurma Sorabji is a good friend of mine, so I can say this. I actually broke down crying when I sold the bike because I felt a part of my life has gone. So and even in your book, when you speak about the Velocis Venom Thruxton HT, you won't believe this, but that's one of the bikes I wanted. Yeah, so that's in his book. It's a beautiful baby, and there was a 68 model, a pearl white one. I'd actually seen it when I was shooting in Birmingham at that point of time, where the factory is based out of, and the BSA factory is also based out of there. And I went there, and I saw this bike, and in those days they told me the bikes, this was quite some time ago, but I think about 10 years ago when I wanted it. In those days they said it was $24,000 for a 68 model. So getting it back to India would have been another 24.
Do they make it, or is it a production? Well, it's a significant character, the bike in the book. So I think they're going to enjoy it. Do you still own many bikes? Do you make the time to ride?
Yeah, I two things. One is, Namita, I own motorcycles. The second thing is, I'm doing a film on motorcycle racing in the famous Isle of Man. Just to give you guys an idea, Isle of Man is a small island between Ireland and the UK, a very little island, and the entire perimeter of that island is about 36 miles. That's it. And once a year, for a week, they have these races in the Isle of Man, in the first week of June, the last week of May, where these riders come, and they're professional riders, and they ride on streets that are probably as wide as Turner Road, and they do speeds of up to 340 kilometers an hour. It is called the greatest show on earth. It is also called the most dangerous race in the world, because on an average, 1.5 to 2 riders, on an average, so 2 riders die every year in those races. And I've been going to those races because for any motorcyclist, to touch that ground is like you've reached the mecca of motorcycling. So the first thing I did when I went there was I touched the ground, and I was like, I'm here. And then I rode, but of course I was a mere mortal. I couldn't ride at those speeds, so these guys were 340, we were at 200, 250, which was not anywhere close to what they were doing. But the experience was just beautiful going around there. So I'm doing a film in the Isle of Man, and in your book you mentioned everything from a GSX 750, and for all you guys here who don't know much about motorcycles.
Major fans at the back.
Oh, major
Say
fans.
Hi.
Hi guys, hi.
They wanted to come here with their bikes.
Hi. Okay, so I got to tell you what I have since you guys are here. I've got the Panigale V4. It's a beautiful baby. I've got the Aprilia RS V4. I've got the VMAX, Yamaha VMAX 1700. Then what else have I got? I've got the ZX 1400, the Kawasaki Ninja ZX 1400. I'm getting the new R1, and I'm getting the BMW S1000 RR. Besides that, I've got what else have I got? I've got the MV Agusta F3 800. So I've got some very beautiful babies, and it feels so nice when you see them, you know.
When you ride them.
So honestly, I take them out in the night once in a way, but on a Sunday, I take each of them out, take them for a round and crank them up and put them back in the garage, and I spend more time cleaning them than riding them. So,
Quite like the half Parsi that you are. Yeah. So, quite stereotypically, Parsis, Iranis are known to be cleaning the bikes all the time.
Nobody has written it except one person who is this half Sikh, half Chinese, Chopin Singh, Chopin Singh, with 9 moles ringing his belly button. So it's a very unlikely story. He doesn't believe it, but he still keeps searching for it. So the book is about his search for the motorcycle, and on the way he meets various people, including a Bombay Don who's mad about cars and bikes. He kills people if they don't ride well.
They are fictional.
They're all fictional, yeah, Petrol Salim, yeah. He meets Genghis Khan on the way, and finally also meets Bluetooth, the king of the Vikings. Yeah. And then he finally gets to ride the bike. That's what the story is about. The motorcycles are just there, but I think it's also a story of passion and obsession.
How do you mean passion and obsession?
Because I think he's just alive. I mean, he's just there for the last 10,000 years. Yeah. And it's bikes that give him some kind of meaning in his life.
Well, the reviews so far that I've read have been so good. They're all saying that this book is trippy. Murli, you're anything but trippy. We've been friends, John. We've been friends and colleagues for 20 years.
That's a long time.
Early days, yeah. So, how did you do it?
So I just had fun writing it, I think. It's been 10 years since I've been writing this book.
The context is our hero, which is Kandakaran Swami, also known as KK. He is a village deity, mad about motorcycles. He has just returned from one of his trips abroad. The time which I am going to sort of refer to is the 1970s. Kandakaran Swami is talking about meeting his friends, Koman and Gopi, in Kolegonde, which is the village. Whiskey as I enthralled them at the Fort Maidan late into the night, narrating tales of my trysts with all those exotic machines. Over the years, I have visited many countries in search of interesting motorcycles and ridden 1 million mooched miles on all sorts of machines. Each of these adventures helped Koman vicariously live the thrill of riding motorcycles he never had the opportunity to ride. But there is a story that was better than all my stories. It's about the Velocity Venom Thruxton HT, and the man who narrated it to us on a September night was Kadar. The boys were all at the Arak shop celebrating Koman's engagement in Achat's house, Madhavi, which had taken place earlier that day. An exuberant Koman had ordered meat of various kinds, frog's legs, beef, fowl and mutton, to go with the several liters of alcohol that he and his band of merrymakers consumed that night. Much advice was proffered by some of Koman's married friends, especially Murthy, the twice-divorced rascal who distilled his bitter wisdom for the soon-to-be groom's benefit. Koman and his friends talked about the football games they had played as children, the various teachers they had harassed, cursed CK and Gopalan for not being around, and wondered why Gopi was still unmarried. Must be because of that girl he desired so much, Koma. What was her last name? The one who used to pass this way daily on the bus to Nemara, asked Chuchai Narayan, a wave of mirth cresting on his grandly mustachioed face. Savitri Kutti, Koman bellowed. But wasn't she from a rich family? I heard her father was a contractor. They have 2 cars, I think, said Velayudan, who had studied with Koman until class 8 and now he worked as a bus conductor. Was one of the cars an Impala? Asked Koman.
Guys, please manage it. Yeah. He's not a big. Something needs to be signed. हाँ. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Just out.
मैम मैं थोड़ा साइड होंगे
I'm just holding.
Meenakshi's here.
You want me to? No, I wanted to take it because I've handpicked these.
One second. The books you can keep it. Give it to me. I'll give it.
John, I hope I could get one helmet.
जॉन से स्मॉल
Murli? Come. This is your podium. Please come here. Just one second, ma'am. I'll just finish this with Murli. Come.
What is it? Oh,
नहीं आज मुरली का ये जो किताब है ये लॉन्च हुआ है द गॉड हु लव्ड मोटरबाइक्स मोटरसाइकिल्स के ऊपर है और काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बुक है मैंने कुछ इसमें से कुछ पढ़ा है लेकिन आप मुरली से पूछिए इसके बारे में क्योंकि आई थिंक इट्स अ वंडरफुल एक्सपीरियंस और जिस तरीके से इन्होंने इसमें पूरी जो कहानी पिरोआ है इसमें सो यू मस्ट आस्क हिम अ लिटिल अबाउट इट
so it's essentially a fantasy where you have a British bike and there's this village god who wants to ride it. That's the whole story about the book. 10 साल. Difficulties नहीं थी as such. हाँ? नंबर था.
come here.
जॉन से बाइक आपको पसंद है सभी को मालूम है फेवरेट बाइक कौन सी है
बहुत सारे बाइक्स है लेकिन मेरे सबसे फेवरेट बाइक यामा RD 350 है क्योंकि पहली बाइक थी उसके लिए वेरी स्पेशल वो फिल्म्स के बारे में हम लोग नेक्स्ट टाइम बात करेंगे
अमिताभ बच्चन को दादा साहब फाल्के अवार्ड मिला
या नो इट्स अ ग्रेट ऑनर एंड कंग्रेचुलेशंस लॉन्ग ओवरड्यू और बच्चन साहब को यही कंग्रेचुलेशंस कहना चाहेंगे हम
Thank you. So,
थैंक यू
so we can use it.
You know my children actually, Umang was born like this. Footballer. Come home. Yeah. Why romance?
Sometimes love is blind, right? You can't explain.
He's like, I want to see John and you.
So,